Hi Chelsea fans, Chels Daft here with another of the Chelsea news update videos. Champions League day today, and there's plenty of content on this video. Cesar Azpilicueta talks of the defensive frailties that we've got. Hakim Ziyech has a strong message for the Chelsea players. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink talks of Chelsea's title chances but has a rave review of Timo Werner. Frank Lampard talks Champions League, what we learned last year and what we need to make sure that we're doing this season as we head into the competition tonight. There's a belief that Chelsea can win the Champions League, and we're going to talk about the game this evening and whether or not Edouard Mendy is going to be fit. Plenty to feature in the video, plenty of content. Stay tuned and smash the like button for me. But let's start with Cesar Azpilicueta, who took the press conference yesterday after Frank Lampard ahead of the game against Sevilla this evening. And he was asked, obviously, of Chelsea's defensive issues, defensive problems, and he didn't shy away from it. Let's just say that. He said this: what is clear is that if we want to fight for everything, we have to improve defensively. This is a problem we have to fix collectively and individually. Sometimes you can get away with it, but you cannot rely on every game having to score 3 goals. And he's got a good point. He says you have to dig in and get a clean sheet. It's very important for the confidence of the team to have this solidity. We have to start getting this consistency of not conceding goals. When you have solidity defensively, it gives a boost to the whole team, to the attacking players, to create chances. When you're defensively weak, sometimes you feel like you have to score 3 or 4 goals every game. As a defender, I feel bad when you concede so many goals. We have to improve our personal mistakes and collectively take better decisions. Through the season, you're not going to be playing beautiful football and winning 3 or 4-0 every game. When you don't, you have to get results. And that was the message from Cesar Azpi, talking of the team collectively working harder to improve as a defensive unit. That's what he's calling for, and he makes a lot of sense. So to Hakim Ziyech, and Hakim Ziyech has been talking after the game against Southampton and was just quite honest. And he had quite a strong message for the players, and he said this: of course it's going to take time to improve, but we don't have the time because the games are coming really quick, so we have to learn quickly. This is a moment we can learn from, but it can't happen in the last minute. Calling for the players to be switched on, and for someone that's new into the club, fair play to him for speaking out. What do you think about what he said? So to Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink, who believes Chelsea are not title contenders. Let's be honest, I don't think any of us think that we are anyway. But he also has massive amount of praise for Timo Werner. It's pretty much the same story. The defence, the goalkeeper, we don't need to go into all that. We all know the problems that we've got. We've just heard from Cesar Azpi. But Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink was talking of Timo Werner, and he's impressed with what he's seen. And he said this: he's the real deal. He's very sharp. He turns the centre-back quickly, and there's only one thing in his mind. He's not someone who likes to play with his back to the goal. He likes to see it and make the run on the shoulder of the centre-backs. I like him when he plays through the middle. He does drift to the left and then comes back to the middle. He's a top striker. His runs are limited if he plays on the left, as he can only cut back in. He is more restricted, and he likes to be free and make runs off the shoulder. And I think he's spot on playing through the middle. And I've been saying since the season started, up to the point of the Southampton game where he got his first 2 goals, that Werner likes to make these runs off the shoulder, and he was being ignored from time to time. Now you're sitting playing him in like we did against Southampton, and you can see exactly what he can do. And with Timo Werner getting his 2 goals, confidence is now going to be up here, sky high, and expect him to take it into tonight's game against Sevilla, but he does need the service. Talking of the game tonight, Champions League, as we turn our attention to the game, Frank Lampard talking, obviously, his pre-match press conference, and just some little bits from that conference that he spoke about yesterday. Also, on my channel, posted up, recorded last night, posted up first thing this morning, is my video on Frank Lampard, and to trust him and to back him, to make sure you check that out if you haven't seen it already. To the game this evening, Frank Lampard was asked of the experience last year, obviously the Bayern performances, and what they need to make sure that they're doing this time around. And he said this: we're a young team last year, working a lot to improve, and the Bayern game was a great marker for the young players and the squad to realise the levels that need to be attained. I remember having that myself as a young player. Getting through the group was also difficult for us, having lost the first game against Valencia, so we had to show a lot of discipline and focus to get through hard matches at Ajax and Lille. So hopefully there've been a lot of lessons learned from that period. Talking of this time around, he said this: I mentioned before about concentration, focus and discipline, and that becomes even more important here than other competitions because the level of the Champions League, that's what I'd always make very clear to the players going into the match against someone of the quality of Sevilla. And he's right, Chelsea need to be focused. Hopefully Thiago Silva's going to be back in that defensive line, and more on the goalkeeper coming up. So to Seville and coach Julien Lopetegui, who was talking ahead of the game also, and he's been full of praise of Chelsea and believes that Chelsea are a team that could win the Champions League, which is a compliment. Let's just say that. I think we know how far away we are, but it's a compliment either way. In part of his interview, he said this: we're against one of the teams that can win the competition in Chelsea. We need to perform well tomorrow, and that's the only thing we can do. Yes, it's going to be a tough ask. Every match is difficult, especially when you're talking about the Champions League and playing against a team such as Chelsea. But our intention is to win like we do in every stadium and every match. We have to perform well, and I don't think the start of the season counts for much at the moment. They're a great side with fantastic players and have performed very well this season. They've been playing sensationally, and they're going to force us to produce our best performance, both defensively and offensively. We need to perform very well tomorrow. Chelsea like to dominate the ball, as we do, so I think it's a match between teams who have two different types of players, but who have the same idea, which is to dominate the ball, and that's what we need to be prepared for. We saw Seville Europa League winners last season. The way they played, at times they needed to dig in. They were defensively organised, they were hard working, they didn't panic, and Chelsea need to be prepared for a team such as Sevilla, who are quality, and you have to admit that. And it's interesting that he says that at the moment the start of the season doesn't count for much. I think we can all agree, based on the Chelsea social media, just content is put out there by different people. I think they'll beg to differ. So to the game this evening, and there's a report that Edouard Mendy is in contention to play. Bearing in mind he's back in training after suffering a thigh injury on international duty with Senegal, and remember that he came back early. Is the game this evening an opportunity to put him straight back into the team along with Thiago Silva and try to build on a good start in the group? Last season, remember, we lost the opening day to Valencia, which was poor. We can't afford to do that again really, and we want a good start. There's a lot of criticism of Kepa at the minute. There's a report today saying that he could be third choice goalkeeper now. So if Mendy's fit, you have to say Mendy's got to play. But we've also heard Frank Lampard and Cesar Azpilicueta defend Kepa, talk about helping him through and the belief they've got in him. I think we can all agree though that if push comes to shove, at the moment Edouard Mendy will be the goalkeeper that we want to see start this evening. It's going to be a difficult game. It's going to be a bit of a game of cat and mouse, with both teams trying to defend, trying to be solid defensively and trying to dominate the ball. Let's just hope that the attacking options and the wealth of attacking options that Chelsea have got going forward can see us through on the evening, and we try to be more solid at the back. Is it a time for Hakim Ziyech to start the game? Probably not. I believe you're going to see Christian Pulisic start, Kai Havertz and Timo Werner. Just interesting to see if Chelsea are going to start with a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, with Mateo Kovacic returning alongside Jorginho and N'Golo Kanté. It's a game we just need to win. Let's hope we can get a clean sheet and win the game. A scrappy 1-0 will be perfect. Just a note to say, I'm going to be doing a live stream of the game this evening. No content from the game, it's just me talking of the game as it's being played out here on the channel. So if you want to look forward to that, come and join me at 7:40 this evening, 5 minutes ahead of kickoff, and I'll just be talking the game through as I see it. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. And for the first time ever, there will be super chats open for you guys to try and support and show support to the channel. because that's what we're trying to do at the end of the day. I'm trying to get the channel to grow, try to invest in the channel, and any help that we can get would be grateful. So join me tonight 7:40 on the channel for the live stream talking of the game as it's being played out. But for now, thanks for watching. See you next time.